All right, let's go ahead and do this. Game ain't even over yet, but might as well say the game is over, right? Dolphins lost. Heartbreaker, but hey, we suck, right? That's just our life. We a sorry team. We trash. So, hey, we just upped our chances at a number one overall pick. Now, is McDaniel about to get fired for a game like this? Nah, he ain't. He ain't, because the offense, fell asleep in the second half, but woke up at the end. We end up scoring a touchdown to go up, but then the defense couldn't handle business. It happens. All right. So, game over. Chargers, hats off to y'all. Y'all won the game. Y'all got some work to do too, though, because y'all let us hang around and y'all weren't even supposed to let us hang around. Y'all supposed to put us away. Y'all left the chance. We almost took advantage of that chance, but we end up losing the doggone game. Okay, so hey, hats off to y'all, because apparently there was some Panthers fans last week that were a little uptight about the fact that I didn't give them they due respect. So making sure this game to give the Chargers fans they respect. All right, that y'all won the game and y'all made the plays that mattered in the end to win, and the Dolphins did not. Okay, so with that being said, Tua. Who else on offense? Savai Naya. Brewer, to an extent. All three of y'all, blank stare. Listen, Savai Naya, you don't deserve to start. You trash right now. And I understand you're a rookie, but you trash right now. You got to go. All right? You can't be the starter of our team. You cannot be the starter of our team letting up sacks the way you letting up sacks. Now, I understand, and I'm going to get to A-Chan in a minute, that you helped him run for over 100 yards today, 2 touchdowns. But you got to be able to hold up in the pass game, and you ain't doing that, okay, for the most part. You making us look bad. Okay, Aaron Brewer with these penalties today. What the heck was going on with you, bro? All right, you supposed to be the guy that helps us, and then you have a bad snap on one play that gets the ball laid out of Tua's hands when we already know he need the ball on time because his arm ain't strong enough to get it out there. Okay, and then Tua, that stupid interception that you threw when you was throwing the A-Chan is trash. Now, the first interception, not your fault at all. All right, that was on Waddle, but Waddle don't get a blank stare because he had to make up for some of your bad passes, right? He had to make up for those. So he made up for his drop because he had to catch some of your inaccurate passes downfield, right? You did just enough to win this game, but it still wasn't enough at the end of the day because guess what? Chargers walked away with the dub, okay? They end up winning this game because their quarterback can evade sacks and make stuff out of nothing. You can't do that. So blank stare for you, 2 doggone interceptions, although I really only count 1, and a touchdown, and less than 200 yards passing, trash. Okay, or maybe just about 200 yards passing, something like that. Trash. Okay, just trash. We see who Tua is. Y'all, this is who Tua is, okay? This is Tua. This is the best we're going to see from Tua. All right, and it is so far from good enough. Okay, we got to move on. I know we paid him. I know he got his money. We can do what they did with Russell Wilson and move on. The Broncos brought him in, made a mistake, paid him too much money, got him up out of there. All right, we made a mistake too. Let's get him up out of there. I understand y'all want to say build the offensive line, this and that, but Tua don't have the goods. He is damaged. All right, he don't got the goods. You got to move on. All right, you can put a better offensive line in front of him to give him all day to throw. If he can't find nobody, he gonna still get antsy. All right, he can stand back there flat-footed for 5 seconds. Once again, if he can't diagnose and find nobody, he gonna start getting antsy. He gonna feel pressure that ain't pressure. All right, that's Tua. That's who Tua is. And if you got a guy that's 50 yards down the field, Tua's going to throw him a Hail Mary pass. All right? He going to be waiting for that bad boy all day long. We got to move on from that dude there. love him as a person. All right, fellow Christian. But when they come on the football field, trash. All right, trash. Just can't do it. Can't do it no more. All right. Now, on defense, all right, let's go on that side. Rush game. Everybody, blank stare. Didn't matter who it was. On defense, rush game was trash. All right, we were horrible in the run game on defense. Goodness gracious, what in the world was that? All right, y'all let another dude, random dude, come in here this week and run for over 100 yards. We don't even know who this guy is. He ran for over 100 yards. Same thing y'all did last week. Y'all just giving no names. 100 yards. Let me get on out there too then. Let me give me 100 yards too then. Why not? You know, my fat behind get on out there running a doggone 6'3" in the 40-yard dash, 40-yard dash. And I bet you I can run for 100 yards a yard. Trash, man. What y'all got going on? All right, now let's move on to specifics, all right? Because I just named everybody on defense. Let's move on to specifics when it comes to doggone blank stares. Jalen Phillips, you did have a sack today. But that last play, blank stare. That's on you. You know who you dealing with. This is not Tua. If it was Tua, you would have had him. But this is Justin Herbert. All right, Justin Herbert ain't no different than Josh Allen. You got to bring them down the same doggone way. You try to bring them down with your arm, that ain't going to work. That allows him to get that pass off, and that allows Lad McCankey to evade Trader, all right, who also deserves his own doggone blank stare, and get all the way down the doggone field. Y'all trash, all right? You did make a play. You did make some other plays today, all right? But when we needed you the most, right, you want to get paid, right? When we needed you the most, what did you do? You ain't show up. All right, that's what you've been doing. All right, it ain't just today. All right, you done made bad play after bad play in other games. Illegal hands to the face, you remember those? Right, that's on you too. I don't forget. Blank stare. All right, now, Trader, blank stare. Dude, make the tackle. You had him at the 50-yard line. Make the tackle. Make them go earn it, right? Make them go earn it. Make the tackle. No. You over pursuing the play, and then now Lad McCankey, he should have went for the end zone. He decided, I'm going to go ahead and go out at what, 20-yard line, 15-yard line in this game right now. Make y'all waste your timeouts. You know what I'm saying? That this game is over, right? What in the world were you thinking? You had bad play after bad play all day today. You just not good at all. All right, so it ain't just for one play you getting a blank stare. I've seen your number flash across the screen a lot on missed tackles. Blank stare for you. Blank doggone stare for you. Doggone Chop Robinson and Chubb, blank stare. When there was a play that doggone be made, it wasn't y'all making it. Neither one of y'all. Y'all couldn't make a play to save your life today. Trash. All right, now I'm moving doggone on the last person I'm giving a blank stare to today. And no, it ain't Mike McDaniel. All right, this happened on the second play of the game. All right, and here is who I'm giving this blank stare to. Charles Davis, blank stare. I already don't like you because you're a Dolphin hater. But for you to fix your mouth to talk about Tua's hitches on the pass he threw the water that was intercepted, straight trash. What are you talking about? That's what you want to talk about? You didn't want to talk about how Waddle gave the ball to the defense by dropping the ball. You want to talk about how Tua had to double hitch. Please, CBS, we don't want to see him no more. All right? I've been off that trade a long time ago. I don't like Charles Davis calling my games. All right? And why the heck have we not had our guy this year calling games for us on CBS? Where's our guy at? Bring our guy back. All right? We want our guy. Y'all know who our guy is. He's got healed. All right? We want our guy back. Thank you very much. All right? Quit giving us these other dudes. Give us our guy back. Now, rounds of applause. There's a couple. We lost, but there's a couple to give out. A-Chain. Wee. A-Chain was like hot grease on a bowling pan today. He had the yards and the touchdowns today. He got to get his doggone round of applause. All right? Now, I know he didn't make a lot of plays. One of them is because they got called back from a doggone penalty. But Darren Waller made what should have been, if the defense was any kind of competent, all right, the game-winning touchdown. That's another touchdown in his books. 4 touchdowns in 3 games. Darren Waller, round of applause for being wide open, okay, on that play. Got to give you your love on that. And then last but not least, I got to give Waddle his love. Waddle, round of applause. Waddle, buddy, you made plays today. You made plays that made me feel like we don't need Tyreek Hill moving forward. And I'm just being honest with you. Not in this offense, right? I'm talking about moving forward with a competent quarterback and a competent offense, right? This currently constructed offense, no. But moving forward, I feel confident with you. Yes, you had that one drop early, right? That could have been it for the week for you. You said no. I'm not going to allow that to mess me up. I'm going to go ahead and make plays for this sorry behind quarterback. And that's exactly what you did. All right, that deep ball, reminiscent. All right, kind of. Now I need you to fix your cleats because you were slipping and sliding all over the doggone place. You could have more yards, but kind of reminds me of when Tyreek Hill was upset at Tua for thinking that he threw it over the wrong doggone shoulder because you was looking inside and that ball was outside. Same type of thing against the Commanders that Tyreek Hill had to deal with, except he scored on that one. All right, so you got to do a little bit better job with your feet, but you still caught that ball, although you juggled it for forever, and maybe you were showing your juggling skills that you learned in the offseason. I don't know, but that was still good to see. It means we can rely on you a little bit moving forward, and we're going to need to rely on you a heck of a lot of it because we got a trash quarterback. Plain and simple. So that is it for the game. If there's anybody I missed that deserves a blank stare or a round of applause in your opinion, obviously put it in the comment section. But I'm not always going to give round of applause to just everybody. This ain't Oprah. All right? I'm not going to give blank stares to everybody once again as well because this ain't Oprah. All right? I'm going to give it to who I see fit and who deserves it because of consistency. And I understand Darren Waller wasn't necessarily a playmaker today, but when we needed him, he pulled through. All right? He pulled through. And I know y'all can say the same about Tua, but Tua was just trash enough not to get a round of applause today. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. Boy, it hurts having to make this video even before the game is over because I already know the outcome of the game without having to watch it. But, hey, y'all get to see me rant a little earlier, too. I'm out.